of justice charge that 45 has been doing. The case is building against him. And the impeachment update. Coming from Bloomberg, I'm not familiar with Bloomberg, so I don't know how accurate the reportings and stories are. But investigators in the House impeachment probe of 45 are questioning George Kent. Not even fully awake. A State Department official who tried to defend then U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch, against accusations from dumbass Rudy Giuliani and others. Here are the latest developments. The House Intelligence Chairman Adam Schiff told reporters the case for obstruction of Congress continues to build as three House panels pursue their impeachment investigation. He cited the complete effort by the administration to stonewall the probe. Schiff said he expects the committees to release transcripts at some point and to call some witnesses back for open hearings. Former Representative Pete Sessions is cooperating with the U.S. Attorney's Office in Manhattan in its investigation of dumbass Giuliani and his associates, his spokesman said Tuesday night. Sessions, a Texas Republican who was defeated for re-election last November, will be providing documents to their office related to this matter over the next couple of weeks as requested, according to the spokesman, Matt Makowiak, whatever the hell you say that. Makowiak said he cannot confirm or deny reports from the Wall Street Journal that Sessions, who has been trying to revive his political career, has been subpoenaed for documents relating to the inquiry to the activities in Ukraine of dumbass Giuliani, the former New York mayor, and 45's personal lawyer and his associates. The House Democrats haven't decided whether to hold a vote on formally authorizing an impeachment investigation, lawmakers said after a closed-door caucus meeting on Tuesday. Representative Elsie Hastings said lawmakers aren't ruling out such a vote at some point later on. They asked whether House Speaker Nancy Pelosi had foreclosed the possibility of ever holding such a vote. Representative Joe Kennedy said certainly not forever. The dumbass Mike Pence's counsel told House lawmakers in a letter Tuesday that the vice squatter isn't cooperating with the request for documents related to the probe of 45's relations with Ukraine. The office of the vice squatter encourages the committee to forego the request to the office of the vice squatter or hold it in abeyance pending your abeyance, I don't know how you say that, pending your discussion with the White House counsel's office concerning compliance with constitutionally mandated procedures. Their dumbass Pence's counsel, Matthew Morgan, wrote to Democratic Representatives Elijah Cummings, Adam Schiff, and Eliot Engel. In the letter, Morgan repeated claims the White House has already made, including that the investigation isn't legitimate because there hasn't been a full vote to authorize an impeachment inquiry. The White House Office of Management and Budget won't turn over documents about withholding military aid to Ukraine, said a senior administration official. The House Intelligence, Foreign Affairs, and Oversight Committees asked the Budget Office on October 7 to provide the documents by Tuesday. The official also indicated that Acting Budget Director Russell Vought won't comply with the committee's request that he testify on October 25th. The official said OMB won't participate in the process the White House views as a sham. The House is looking into whether 45 ordered delay in military aid to Ukraine to pressure the country to investigate Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden and his son. Earlier Tuesday, dumbass Giuliani's lawyer told the House that the squatter's personal attorney will defy a subpoena issued as part of the inquiry. Democrats could go to court to enforce the subpoenas and have talked about reactivating the dormant Congress host fines and punishments to enforce subpoenas. Giuliani, the dumbass Giuliani, will not turn over the documents demanded by the House committees leading the impeachment inquiry, according to a letter from John Sale, the attorney who represented dumbass Giuliani until Tuesday. Sale wrote that the subpoena Giuliani received was overboard, unduly burdensome, and seeks documents beyond the scope of legitimate inquiry. Dumbass Giuliani will not participate because this appears to be an unconstitutional basis and illegitimate impeachment inquiry, Sale's letter says not true. Moreover, documents sought in the subpoena are protected by attorney work product and executive privileges. I don't think that's true either. The letter follows a pattern of stonewalling from the White House as 45 continues to denounce the impeachment inquiry as a witch hunt against them, which it's not. House committees have, however, secured the testimony of former and current officials by issuing subpoenas to compel them to appear. Attorney John Sales says he's no longer representing the squatter 45's personal lawyer, dumbass Giuliani, on impeachment-related matters. Sales said in a brief phone interview that he was hired by by the dumbass Giuliani to respond to the Democrat subpoena, and the task has been completed. That was the extent of it, Sales said, adding that the parting was not acrimonious. He said parting at this point was the plan all along. Sales said he sent a letter to the Capitol Hill early Tuesday responding to the subpoena, but he declined to reveal its contents. Tuesday is the deadline set by the three committees leading the impeachment inquiry for dumbass Giuliani to provide documents and records demanded in a subpoena. The dumbass Giuliani did not immediately respond to a request for comment. ABC News reported that dumbass Giuliani said he won't comply with the congressional subpoena and said we will see what happens if Congress tries to enforce it. Speaker Nancy Pelosi will meet with the House Democrats at 6 p.m. Tuesday behind closed doors to discuss their plan for the impeachment inquiry, according to a congressional aide. Congress has been in recess for 2 weeks and returns to Washington for votes Tuesday evening. Republicans have dismissed the impeachment process as invalid until the full House votes to open the inquiry, although Democrats say that step is unnecessary. House impeachment investigators asked acting White House Budget Director Russell Vought to testify on October 25th about the withholding of military assistance to Ukraine and any possible efforts to cover up those actions. Vought, who runs the Office of Management and Budget, was given the request in a letter dated Friday from the chairman of the House Intelligence Oversight and Reform and Foreign Affairs Committee. The committees are investigating the extent to which 45 jeopardized U.S. national security by pressing Ukraine to interfere with the 2020 election and by withholding a White House meeting with the President of Ukraine and military assistance provided by Congress to help Ukraine counter Russian aggression, as well as any efforts to cover up these matters, states the letter. The chairman wrote to Vought, based upon public reporting and evidence gathered as part of the impeachment inquiry, we believe we may have information relevant to these matters. The House is investigating whether 45 ordered the aid to be withheld to pressure Ukraine to investigate Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden and his son. The three committees on October 7th had asked OMB for information related to the withholding of military assistance and gave the office a deadline of Tuesday to respond. The Budget Office on October 3rd turned over some documents related to the Ukraine aid to the Appropriations and Budget Committees, according to two House Democratic aides. The committees are still reviewing the partial disclosure. Kent arrived Tuesday morning to give testimony behind closed doors to the three House committees conducting the impeachment investigation. The Deputy Assistant Secretary in the Europe and Eurasian Bureau overseeing policy toward Ukraine had warned in emails to colleagues in March that Yovanovitch was target of a disinformation operation. The message and other documents were turned over to Congress by State Department Inspector General Steve Linick early this month. Copies were obtained by Bloomberg. Yovanovitch was recalled from her post in May, earlier than expected, after being accused by dumbass Giuliani, 45's personal lawyer, of trying to undermine the squatter and block an efforts to spur an investigation by Ukrainian authorities into Democrats, including former Vice President Joe Biden. And a March 27th email to colleagues, Kent pointed to what he said were holes in one theory against her outlined in the Capitol Hill newspaper column. The column focused on the list of people she gave to Ukraine officials to prosecute in order to protect Biden and others. Kent wrote that it was a totally manufactured fake list of alleged untouchables. He said one key sign of it being fake is that most of the information was spelled in English. We would never spell most that way. With assistance from Jack Fitzpatrick, Billy House, and Jordan Fabian to contact the reporters on this story. That's it, yeah. But yeah, but it's building up.